How do you, when you find out, so if you wrong somebody or someone wrongs you, how do you know that, and they come back and they're still trying to make this work and they're still trying to do things? How do you know that, or what clicks for you to forgive somebody? Is it that when you find out that they have a good heart, or that that they weren't intentional in doing that, or what is it for you that does it for you? What makes you say, you know what, I can give that person a second chance? I'm
dumb. Because I gave this person a second and a third chance.
Well, no. You said the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. What takes it for you to take the first time? Just the first time forgiveness. What do you say to yourself when you just the first time?
But that was a one-off because I have never, and I pride myself in this, except like I said, I can't say never now because I did it with this one person. But every time that something has happened and I broke up with somebody or somebody broke up with me, usually it's somebody breaking up with me, because honestly I think that everything can be solved, everything can be fixed,
absolutely,
compromise, whatever.
Absolutely.
Exactly. I'm very optimistic.
Everything can be solved.
There's, you know what I mean, there's changes going all over the place. We just need to figure out how to work around them. So once that gets cut off, I never look back. It's always, okay, bye. They could try to be my friend, they could say hi, whatever. Never. They will come up to me with flowers, with apologies, with whatever. Nah. Have a nice day.
Once the relationship gets cut off?
Go back. Yeah, once they're done, once they break up with me, once they're done with me, I will never go back to that person. The same thing, when I left my mom's house, I never went back there. No matter how bad I was struggling or whatever it was, I will sleep on somebody's couch before I go back to my mother's house.
They gave up on you first.
I left. I'm just saying, I left and I was out of there. The same thing, same job. Jobs, never went back. Once I quit, once I left, I will never go back. I will never go back to what I already had, because if I didn't learn a lesson from what I had already, then that's my fault.
So is it more the fact that this person quit on you first, even if you're still in a position to make things work, to make things happen?
The difference between so I did an incredible amount of healing, an incredible amount of forgiving, an incredible amount of all kinds of stuff. I was super hard-hearted. I wouldn't cry. I was just super hard because that's what I grew up with. You don't show emotions. You don't do nothing. You know what I mean? You don't show anybody how you really feel. With this relationship, I was super vulnerable. I was out there. I was letting him know my feelings. I was so comfortable. I was being my realest self that I had ever shown anybody. Anybody ever in my life. And so for me to invest a piece of me into that person, I didn't want to let go. I didn't want to believe that I gave this person everything and they gave me the same amount right back for nothing. I kept forgiving that person for their infidelities, for their lies, for their everything, because I genuinely believed that person loved me and did not want to hurt me.
They weren't capable. You were thinking
but that's what I'm saying. But coming to find out now, they didn't give me their whole heart. They gave me a piece of their heart. They gave me what they were willing to sacrifice. Where for me, I didn't choose anything. I just went all out, and because I didn't care.
And that's a different type of pain, honestly. Like, to feel like you really gave that person, you gave that person a version of you, or the you that nobody else has received, and to feel like that experience.
But the thing was, he accepted it. You know what I mean? At first, I guess. Until he realized, oh, I'm better than this chick. You know what I mean? She doesn't have her stuff together, or whatever his, whatever his thing was. So next. Now hopefully coming to realize, putting his ego aside, oh dang, maybe that wasn't it. I'm supposed to support her throwing this. I'm supposed to realize that I'm gonna have my faults. Maybe not right now. Maybe I've already had them, but she probably never called me out on it, because that's not who I am.
He probably had that complex of feeling like he's perfect, or
feeling like he's better than me. Like he has
have any wrong doing
exactly. He has it all together, and that was the thing was. For me, I'm not going to call you out. If you're moody, if you're whatever, then you're going to be moody and I'm going to deal with it. I'm not going to be like, are you serious? You're going to be moody right now? You know what I mean? Where guys, they feel like, oh, okay, is this what we're doing right now? Okay, well, let me know when you're done. You know what I mean? But it's like, for us as females, it's like, we just try to fix the situation, right? If you're going through it and you're emotional, we want to be there for you. We're not going to call you out on it and be like, right? Where the dude's like, oh, what's going on? Oh my gosh, she's crying.
Don't know what to do.
Why are you being so emotional? right now. Seriously? We're trying to do stuff and you're over here crying. What are you crying for? You don't even know what you're crying for. What do you mean? Then why are you crying? You know what I mean? It turns into all kinds of stuff where most females, I mean, we're more nurturing, I guess. And so that's why we're more, you know what I mean?
That comes with also being
we're more in tune to nurturing you, supporting you, guiding you, loving you, if we're in the right spot, than judging you.
I feel like I feel like, because that conversation is different only for the simple fact that I kind of dealt with the situation like that a couple of days ago.
That's right. We were also both working in ourselves.
When I kind of dealt with that situation, I just let it be known. But that's where, honestly, just when it comes down to it, that's when it comes down to just being more understanding. Or even if, because a lot of the time you're not going to understand certain things about your partner. And like I said, you're going to drive yourself crazy trying to figure out why that person is the way that they are.
Oof.
Just accept it for what it is.
Accept it for what it is and learn how to deal with it.
Judge.
Yeah.
Don't judge.
Accept it.
Like,
accept it.
You accept that person and let them know that you accept them and not throw it in their face. Because some people are going to take certain things as a threat. They're going to feel like, you're saying, whoa, what do you mean by that? Or, you're just trying to... And they're like, what do you mean by that? Or whatever it is. And you're trying to communicate, like, the best that you can in that situation. Yes. But, and to kind of touch bases, like what you're talking about, the situation, sometimes it really takes situations like those to really open your eyes, like, to be hurt that bad, you're gonna work on yourself to the point where it's like, bro, like, I'm not gonna allow myself to feel this again. Like, there's no way, like, that can't be me again. To bring somebody into your world, to completely bring them into your world, to show them, whether it's physically, mentally, to bring this person into your world, and for things not to go the way that you wanted them to, kind of feel like it exploded in your face, and it's just like.
Like I said, it wasn't even that things didn't go how I wanted them to, because I didn't have expectations. Like I said, I just wanted to love them or whatever. The saddest part was just me not judging him and me meeting him where he's at, right? Like, God meets us where we're at. We don't have to fix anything. We don't have to change anything. Like, that's exactly how I saw it. And that in itself is a blessing for sure, because it takes a lot to do that. You work on it, you try, but sometimes you still fall short. And for me, I could accept him for who he was, not looking at, I'm just gonna wait because he's gonna be a better person. No, it was like, if this is the best that he has to offer me right now, I'm accepting this. I'm taking this. I saw him at his worst and was like, cool, we can make this work.
And you can go up from here.
Right. And that's where it was like, he saw me at my worst. I guess this time it was just the most worst. And he was like, no, can't do this no more. Exactly. And that's where it was like, okay, I can't expect someone else to not judge me just because I'm not judging them.
You can't expect them to meet you in the middle. You can't expect them to be on the same wavelength. And in my situation, kind of how I felt about that topic was, and I had this conversation with my girl the other day, we shouldn't have to put each other through hella pain for us to, when we're older, be like, oh yeah, we got a strong relationship, all this other stuff. I shouldn't have to hurt you. You shouldn't have to hurt me back. Like, and I told her, we're gonna get all this out the way while we're young. All this other stuff, we're not touching on multiple topics. We're not touching on the same topic multiple times.
Right. We need to learn now.
Learn now, because we're not. I'm not gonna tolerate. I'm not allowing this. You shouldn't either. And I even tell her, don't let me walk all over you. Don't let anybody walk all over you. I tell her, I'm here to help build you as a woman, regardless if I'm in the picture or not. Regardless if me and her are still together in the end of the day, as long as I impacted her personality or impacted her mindset in a positive way, I'd be happy with that. But of course, as with this being somebody that I know I'm going to be with for the long run, I told her, like, again, we shouldn't have to hurt each other hella times.
Life is already suffering.
Yeah, for us to be a strong couple, for us to say we've been through so much and, we're sticking it out. It's like, bro, like, if I love you and care about you as much as I say you do, I'm not going to put you in a situation to begin with. I'm not going to make you feel that pain just for us to bounce back and feel like we're stronger. I'm not going to do that to her. I'm not going to drag you through the mud just to polish you off. You can still see the mud. And somebody was telling me, each time you kind of get in situations, you push that person away, and that's distance that you can't make up for. So at a certain point in time, they could be all across this room at the window.
They can't hear you no more. You can't make them impact.
I'm really militant about it. Like, I take being done wrong personally for the simple fact that I allowed that to happen to myself.
didn't see it.
That went under me, or even if I did see it, I chose to ignore it because how I feel about the person.
Exactly.
I thought about what's in here instead of what's up here. So a lot of that's happened. So I take it personally. Like I'm like my worst critic. Like I'm really hard on myself. My girl even tells me like you can't be that hard on yourself. But it's like that's just how I think. Like I'm really hard on myself. Even if it's not even a relationship, if I let certain stuff slide or I feel like I made the wrong decision, like I've like grilled myself. Like I'm hard on myself about it. And for me,
when you go to counseling, they tell you not to. Like they're like, be kind to yourself. Because we are very hard with.
But it's like at the same time, like I'm not gonna allow myself to settle for less. I'm hard on myself
Right.
because I feel like
you want to be better, you want to do better.
But
You
at
want
the
to.
same time, nobody's gonna do that for you.
Right.
If you don't tell yourself I'm messing up and I'm doing wrong, or I know I could have done better in the situation, tell me.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you got to hold yourself accountable, but to an acceptable standard, not something that's, you know what I mean, irrational.
Or for me, it's more
like
so when I
everything's
feel
my
like
fault. Kind of
Yeah.
thing.
No, not like that. For me, it's when I feel like I strayed away from my principle, when I strayed away from something, or I acted out of character in a certain sense, and it's like, I know I shouldn't be doing that. I knew I shouldn't have done that in the moment. So it's not just like, if me and my girl get in an argument, just because I'm mad, it's not okay for me to call her out of her name and justify because I'm mad. You can't make up for that. And I've never done that.
You have to take your feelings out of the situation.
Yeah, and again, no matter how mad we get, I'm still not gonna raise my voice. I'm maybe take a deep breath and talk about like I always.
Well, yeah, because there's no need, because you're gonna say the same thing either way.
A lot of what people don't realize
you're
about,
affecting her negatively.
I forgot where I learned this from. In arguments, why things escalate is primarily body language. If I'm getting
because somebody gets close to you,
getting super
right?
animated, I'm starting to sweat. I'm starting to get hot. That's getting hot. Like
What you trying to do?
Right? They start pacing.
What you trying to do?
So for me, when I get mad,
All of a sudden, we're
for me, when I get mad, like to that extent, I really feel hot. Like I feel like this just hot heat cloud above my head. My head starts getting hot. I start to sweat. There's multiple ways you can go about that. And if I just take a deep breath and it's like, okay, like, let me just hear you out or whatever. Or sometimes I'm not even trying to hear that person out because, like, for me, I'm not going to bring the topic I'm not going to bring it up or whatever unless if I feel like I'm sure what's going on. If, like, I'm not going to just straight up, oh, what's going on or whatever, like, or accuse somebody something. And I'm going to just sit back and peep. If I feel like I'm being done wrong, if I have that gut feeling or if I peep things, I'm going to bring it to attention. Other than that, if I'm not speaking on it, either there's nothing wrong or it's just not at a place and time where I can speak on it, or you know, it's not something that's I feel like is a big enough issue yet. But like to kind of bring it back full circle, for me that's kind of how I feel about it. I shouldn't have to hurt that person that many times for us to grow as individuals. We shouldn't have to drag each other through the mud, I shouldn't be getting comfortable with being done wrong. I shouldn't be getting comfortable with being dragged through the mud. And like for me, I don't give that many chances. I really don't. But I've learned with this relationship has helped me grow as an individual in many different aspects. But instead of always being so cold-hearted or always being so...
Guys are so non-emotional and all that stuff. And it's like, can you just talk? Stop trying to solve a problem and just like...
And with my girl, like we always talk it out. Like we don't leave until we are walking.
Yeah, and that's a big deal too. Somebody told me, I forgot who it was. They were like, okay, the one lesson, like for sure, don't go to sleep angry or whatever. But they said when you have an argument, do not do it in the bedroom. Go outside on the couch or on the sofa or whatever it is, in the living room, whatever it is. Like, don't bring that argument into your bedroom, because that's supposed to be a place of like, you know, sanctuary and peace and quiet and all that stuff. So it's like, so if you guys, you know, before you go to bed, obviously, exactly, but it's like, get out of your bed and make sure that, you know, you're at the kitchen or you're on the sofa, whatever it is. But it's like creating an environment to know that, okay, cool, this is where we're going to solve problems, and not having the bed be like, okay, this is where we're going to solve problems. Like, no, that's not it.
And for me, like any issue that I have with like any issue that we run into, I always try to make it like a discussion. It's not no debate. It's not none of that. If I'm messing up, I try to, and I'm not saying that I'm perfect, because like I say, like if there's anything that I'm doing wrong, and again, I'm not gonna ask something to somebody that I'm not willing to do myself.
Right.
Nothing outrageous.
Right.
Like I'm not a hard person to get along with or to please. Like you said, it's these 3 things. Don't violate and we're straight. And you gotta really be trying to violate this.
Exactly.
It's not that hard. Like, you don't gotta be walking
These are just character traits.
Like, it's
like love.
don't make it
just show up
to be a decent human being. Like, it's good, bro.
I don't be giving a lot of people chances either, because I feel like,
well, yeah, because you're in the heat of the moment and sometimes things don't get resolved.
That's time when I'll be talking.
I'm a one and done kind of guy most of the time.
So cold hearted and like, she's like, Xander, you can't be like that. And me being, when I get mad, being kind of close minded, like, nah, bro, like, that's it. And then I realized, like, she's telling me facts, like, I can't be like that. I gotta chill.
No, still waiting our show over. Nah, we're here.
Hurt people.
Yes, I said that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. You told me to write that down when we were on the phone.
Record label.
So, elaborate.
She just released her album,
Really?
by the way. It's called Muse. I'll put it on my story.
Yeah, do that.
Download it. Spotify? Anything? It's called Muse. Alicia Bella.
Elaborate.
Sorry. Hurt people. Yes. Unless you are healing and aware that you are hurting, any person that you come in contact with, I believe you will continue to hurt them because you have not established the healing process. So it's just not the toxic traits or anything like that, but it's just basically the conditioning that you have, that other people have hurt you, so you're going to continue to do that to other people. It's just a cycle. Exactly. It's a cycle of hurting people, and sometimes you're not even aware of it.
That's how they get
It's unintentional at one point. Unconscious.
It's not that it's unintentional.
Yeah. Well,
because it's people
you're not trying to.
Yeah, you are.
Are you?
Yes.
No,
Are you?
when I
No,
said
if
you
you're
gotta be
hurt
trying.
and you just end up hurting someone because you're just feeling a type of way, you're
Like I
not
said,
trying to hurt. I'm not
so
saying I'm gonna hurt this person too.
Bruh, when we
A
said,
lot of times it is.
when we said about violating
If I'm hurt,
principle,
everybody's gonna be hurt.
You gotta be trying to. There's no way you can be like, oh, I didn't know. Like, bro, that
Yeah,
honestly, I'm not
you
gonna
know.
have to answer. That's the one time
If
I'm
you
gonna
know, you
be
weren't
like,
conscious though.
That's the
It's
one
enough.
time I'm gonna straight up be like, that was the stupidest answer you could have ever given me. There's no way, and it's just no way you can hit me with the, oh, I didn't know what I was doing in this moment. You made a conscious decision
You know, you
to
didn't
do
care.
whatever it is that you did, and you acted upon that. Not only did you think about doing it in the moment, you carried out the action. So I don't know.
Yes.
It's not an acceptable answer.
Your
right now.
feelings turned into actions instead of your feelings just being kept to yourself,
Or a conversation.
letting it reside or whatever it is, and then really understanding what it was that you actually wanted to say or you know what I mean, do or whatever it is. Instead, you let your temporary feelings turn into an action that is now no longer temporary.
Well, it's almost in a way like
Because once you act upon it, it's out
Yeah,
there.
because now exactly, that's you, that's your character, that, you know what I mean?
it's almost like in a way of like, if like I'll put it in my previous relationship, because the anger, like it's like carrying something from one relationship to another, and sometimes you don't even realize you're doing it, but you're doing it until you have that self-aware. That's why I'm saying like unintentional sometimes.
Well, like lashing out,
Discord open?
lashing out is actually one of those things where you might not understand why you're so angry. So I understand that there are certain aspects, but then there's both sides to it. There are certain things, but there are clearly certain things that you're doing that are intentional. you know, just being, what is that? What is the word for it? Just the type of person, like you're just, I don't know. What's the word? Like when you're intentionally trying to do that, like just a bitter person. You're just bitter. So you're trying to.
Are you miserable?
You're
Or
miserable, whatever it is, and you're just trying to create that same feeling in
to
other
everybody
people.
else?
Yeah, trying to give off the
Duplicate
energy,
it,
trying to
Yeah, I think like for me, when I was carrying over like past feelings from other women into like the new relationship,
That's hard, man.
I wasn't thinking like, okay, I'm gonna hurt this woman because of what I've previously been going through, and I'm still angry about the other thing, that I'm gonna do this now to her, even though I wanted to do better. Like
But do
I
you
told
realize
myself
you
I
shouldn't have been dating in the first place?
yeah,
Did you
because
think you were a safe person to date? That's why you.
in a way, yes, we want to believe that. We
No,
want to believe
I'm
that we are.
asking you, did you
At
feel
the
like you
time
were a
I
safe
did.
person?
At the time I did, because I was like,
Because if you didn't,
well,
then
define
again,
whoa, define safe. Let's
Well, it's
define safe person.
It's the PTSD factor, because you've been hurt this way, and
You're kind of like, yeah, it's
as
like
soon as in the next relationship, as soon as somebody does something that might resemble that,
you're like,
you know,
Right.
you start.
I don't know about that one.
You might start tripping.
You're like, yay.
And they might not. Then that's where the miscommunication is, because they're not gonna understand. Like, like, what did I do? And you haven't been through that, and that's why it's not fair to judge somebody based off of past actions of another person.
Yeah.
She said, what'd she say?
She said, I love you. PTSD sucks.
Yeah, it's like, the thing is, I wasn't going in thinking that, like, we want to believe that we're good. We want to believe that, you know, I'm going in thinking that, okay, I'm good, I'm okay, I'm a good person.
But that's the problem.
In reality, we're not.
No, but you didn't allow yourself to detox from that situation that you were in. So that's what I'm saying. Hurt people hurt people.
I was always jumping from the next thing to the next to the next to the next.
Right. So that's why I said, were you ready to date? So that's why I said
at the time, no. At the time, no.
So then you are intentionally hurting somebody.
Because at the time I thought I was. We always think we are. We think we're ready. We think.
You said no.
No. At the time, yes, I thought I was. Obviously,
but then
back then, before I took like a year and a half off.
PTSD kicks in, then you start realizing.
Yeah, like, oh, dude. Yeah, but you're already in it now, and then it's like, oh, what do I do? I'm already in. I'm in this thing now. Like, what do I do now?
You communicate and you
honestly,
let the person know.
If you have a partner that understands you as an individual and is willing to stick it out with you in the end, then you are straight.
They can, and that's another thing we talked about.
But when do you know that you can't be with them to grow?
When you start talking,
listen, that's what we talked about last week, though, because the casual dating thing. You said that I said during dating, like, you can, through like falling in love with someone, that you can get ready. You said you may not be ready at first. You may not be ready. But through like with this person, because it's the right person, whatever you.
But if you love that person enough to realize that you're not ready and that you're not going to grow if you're in the relationship with them. I'm going through it right now. So that's where I'm saying. So you hurt the other person. Being me, because you know that we can't be in this relationship because we still both need to grow.
Yes.
And we tried to make our time instead of be on God's time.
So
instead of be on
Would
what?
you consider that selfish?
For him to say, hey, I can't be in this relationship and I can't do this with you.
Would you consider
both of you
taking up somebody's time, or would you consider that selfish, like feeling like you're ready? No, I don't know how to put it, but just that situation of not being ready. In the sense.
Were you guys both not ready, but you both?
But the thing was, I was willing to put in the work. So
to get there,
I was willing to put in the work. No, I guess now reflecting on it, knowing that would have maybe taken 10 times the amount of work. Whether if we broke it off, if we broke it off and we grew.
Yes.
But that's the thing is, we don't know if we're going to get back together or not. Because that's not what you want to be writing on. Because if we're writing on, hey, let's grow and then we'll come back together, then you're not really doing it for you.
Investing in yourself.
Right.
Yes.
But But I'm saying you're not really doing it for yourself because you're looking forward to, we're going to get back together.
I'm getting better just so this could work out.
Correct.
Rather than I'm getting better because I need to get better.
You're intentionally doing it for yourself and knowing what you need.
Yes.
Not what the relationship needs. Yeah. Not what the relationship needs. Yeah. But what you need.
What do you need? To
grow.
Yeah.
So, like, yes, I'm upset. Yes, I'm all these things. Yes, you said one thing, but at the same time, I don't think that's what you meant. And yeah, you are trying to be the bigger person, and you made a decision for the both of us so that we could continue to grow, you know what I mean, as people, and whatever happens. But I'm just saying, so yes, that's commendable, but at the same time, that's not acknowledging that you hurt me. That's not acknowledging that, you know what I mean, all the work that I put into it. That's not acknowledging all the feelings that I put into it. That's not acknowledging that for me, I would fight through it. For me, I would try. For me, I would, whatever.
And with that situation, when you said, how do you know if that's like the right person? You'll know, or you'll get an idea when that PTSD kicks in, or that, all that trauma. When that kicks in.
Yeah, for me, it's trauma.
And you start tripping, and that person makes you at least feel accepted. When they accept you, when you're like,
and when all it goes away, it just
I told
you said with consistency,
and he did. Okay. So that's what I'm saying is that's where for me it didn't add up because it was like I consistently, or I would tell him like, oh, this is a trigger for me. This is how it feels. Remember when you did this? This is why I feel this way, because I had to deal with that trauma and I'm still healing from it and all this other stuff. And then he would hold himself accountable and be like, you know, I didn't even think about it that way. I'm sorry that I put you in that situation in the first place. Like, thank you for telling me. I would have never thought about it that way. And then, you know what I mean? Like, I would feel heard. Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. He took steps towards proving that he wasn't going to do it again.
But you said you felt like there was a limit to that, though?
Well, yeah.
At a certain point, like,
a certain point, you were like, whoa, hold on.
This was just too much.
Well, I think there was a limit after I accepted him back the third time, where it was like, oh, she's just going to keep accepting him back, so now it doesn't even matter.
But here's the thing, though. So even if somebody because this was a conversation, again, I had about somebody else's situation. This was brought to me, and this was my intake on it. A lot of guys would be like, oh, like, you don't do this for your girl or whatever, or, you know, I do this for my girl, I do this, and this. And that's cool. You're only filling up a portion of these check marks. Just because you do this does not make you a stand-up
guy. Yeah,
it does not make you stand-up guy, because you can hold the door open for your girl, but when you hold the door open for her to walk in your home, you beat her.
Right. Well, or you have to tell me, what you're doing.
So it's
like, right? So when you hold the door open for your girl, you beat her. God,
you can hold the door open for her to get in the home, close it behind her,
and then you're behind closed doors, get back to work. Exactly.
Hold the door open.
Oh my
just
God!
Because you do this or whatever it is, shit, that's cool. A lot of people try to make it seem like they go above and beyond. They got this perfect relationship without showing what's behind those doors.
Yes.
Nobody's perfect. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm far from it. But they could fill out a certain amount of check marks. You know, they could do whatever. But in the end of the day, they could be this, and this.
Yeah.
So that understanding part, when I was saying if that person understood you when the times that you were tripping, okay. But then what about the other things that cause those issues to where you had to come back or take a break or do whatever it is?
And that's what I'm saying. And that's where it was like, well, we wouldn't be in this situation if you wouldn't have done these things in the first place. So I'm just trying to deal with it. Like, can't you just understand that and have like empathy for me and understand like I'm going above and beyond? And that's not what I'm trying to throw in your face, but that's what I want you to understand, is that you put me in this situation and I allowed myself to continue to be in this situation. So, you know what I mean? Like, we're here for each other. We're supporting each other. We're doing all these things, but just be patient with me when I need that extra time.
Just patience.
Yeah.
Patience.
And that's a big thing that I think guys don't have, because they're like, dude, are you done? Are you done? You know what I mean? They develop over time for sure. But again, women were nurturers, or we have, you know, when we have children and all these things, we learn to be patient. Not everybody's patient either. There's a lot of girls that are, or females or women, whatever, that aren't patient. There's a lot of guys that aren't patient, but you learn that, because if you truly care for somebody, you're going to do whatever it takes.
But that's the thing,
if you're not patient, you're going to learn how to be patient. Whether you fail 10 times, that one time that you do get it right, trust me, they're going to notice. And they're going to commend you on it. And they're, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. I'm not asking you to change overnight, because then that's just going to be temporary. I'm asking you to do these little steps and be consistent, so that I know that there's growth every single day, right? I'm not adding up all these months. No, I just, what did you do today?
What did you do today? What you got to do tomorrow?
That you didn't do yesterday, right? And you're going to continue to do, because you know what I mean? That's what you want to do. Not because it pleases me, but again, that makes you a better person. Being with me is going to make you a better person. And if it doesn't make you a better person, then you shouldn't be with me. Right? If I'm subtracting from your value,
Jesus,
make a withdrawal and bounce.
Right? That's the thing. Maybe a lot of guys haven't found, that's another thing. They're not patient, but a lot of the guys haven't found the woman that they want to be patient for, because that's another thing that we talked about, finding that person.
Because you have choices, or you have whatever, or you don't know what you want.
But when you find the one that you want, everything will just not everything. But if you want to, you
still don't know what you want.
I'm in between.
What if you find the one you do want?
In between the two things. If it's something that you don't know or something that you're not doing, if that's really the person that you love and care for, you're gonna take the time out.
You finna do it. You finna learn.
Yes.
But here's another thing too. The biggest issue in a relationship is trying to make that person understand where you're coming from. trying to understand why is he doing this, or like this is why I'm feeling this way. Why don't you understand that you doing this? Why don't you understand that you doing this really bothers me?
From yourself. Other people are just a symptom. Let's go.
But like
facts.
Trying to force somebody to understand where you're coming from, right? Like this really, whatever you did hurt me, bothered me, whatever it is. Why are you not understanding this? What's going on? Here's where. So the thing about that is, it's okay to not understand. And I'm gonna tell you why it's okay to not understand. Because in the end of the day, you may never understand.
Correct.
But taking the time out to at least try to understand.
Or listen.
Listen, making that person feel like they're heard. Because sometimes a lot of people just want their voice to be heard.
Yeah, females, that's all they want. They don't want the problem solved.
Nah. Accept it. Make them feel like they're being heard. At least giving some effort to try to understand, regardless if y'all ever understand that, just some way so you can move past it. Or
yeah, you could fail the whole time, but as long as we see that you're trying, that's what counts. You know what I mean? Like you're still waking up, you're still trying to do it. You might, you know what I mean? You found 5,999 ways not to do it, but you're still waking up and trying. And that's the point of it. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Yeah, is the effort. And no matter what happens, you're still gonna try.
What up, Mikey?
For a lot of people, again, not different things click for different people at different times.
Yes.
You're over here, this person's over here. You're up here, this person's down here. Not saying which one is better, which one is worse. You guys might sometimes go like this, whatever it is, different points in time. At this point
Seesawing.
In a relationship, though, that's when it works best, when your pride and ego are not in the way. Because when you're doing this, that's perfect, because this is somebody's strength and this is your weakness. And this is where you guys level each other out. But if you're in your ego and you're still seeing yourself up here and you don't realize that this is a benefit, right? That you can sacrifice, or you can do whatever, you can meet that person and make them meet you here, right? Your strength, you can hold them, you can grab them, you can whatever. And that's the point of a relationship. Your strengths are going to be my weaknesses, and I have to accept that. Right? And exactly. I can't put my pride, you know what I mean, be prideful and be like, oh, I want to be this person because this person's better than me at this, or you know what I mean, this person does. No, it's how can I make that's what I'm saying. How can I get to where that person is? I'm gonna sit with this person, I'm gonna learn from this person, I'm gonna love on this person's gonna love on me, and we're a team. So it doesn't matter what my strength or what my weaknesses are. We're a team, and we're combining these forces, and we're both strong together.
Yeah, to give I'm gonna give a number. I'm gonna give an explanation first, but then I'm gonna give another one that has numbers in it. In the relationship, this is like what like me and my girl saying ours. In our relationship, right? Y'all ready? Are y'all ready?
Yes, I'm listening. Are you gonna cry or something?
No. I'm thinking about how to wear this.
Okay.
Because I slightly forgot the first half. I only remember the second half. But the second half, okay, I'm gonna tell you the second half, all right? So somebody once told me, I'm gonna come back to the first half. Somebody once told me in the relationship, oh no, I lied. So we say, of course we're supposed to grow together, but we're supposed to grow as individuals in the end of the day.
Yeah.
This relationship is not our whole world.
Doesn't define us, yeah.
In the end of the day, you go to work, pay your bills, take care of whatever it is, you go to work, go to school, whatever it is, I handle whatever it is. In the end of the day, we come together, tell me about your day, whatever it is. But in the end of the day, we come back and, we come back together. And somebody once told me, when people say give 100% give 100% in a relationship, whatever, he was like, no, it's 50-50. Because if you give that person, say they might be at 50% that day. If you give them your 50, you still have 50 left. If you gave that person 100, you have nothing left over here.
Exactly.
You got nothing left. But if you're missing your 50 that day, they can put the 50 and still have a portion. Right. They can still have
or 80-20 or whatever it is.
Whatever it is, whatever the number is missing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But giving your all to a situation or whatever it is, sometimes that can prevent you from growing as an individual. Because say you didn't go through any growth in that whole relationship, and that relationship does not go the way it was planned, y'all break up. If you ain't investing any time in growing yourself as an individual, once you lose that person, what do you have left?
Yeah.
You didn't spend any time working on yourself. You didn't spend any time investing in yourself as an individual. Everything was always us.
Correct.
You gave 100.
Yeah.
You have nothing left. At
We
least
talked
after
about
that,
that
in the end of the day, you
about
could have
the-
50, you could
yeah.
have 20, you could have 30 left.
Right.
Something.
Right.
But, you know, so that's
But because you're not always gonna bring that 50% though, just like you said. So that other person might have to
Up to the other
compensate
person,
and
compromise.
take that 70% and 30% and trust and know that the day that they aren't on their game or whatever, and they're only bringing 20%, that hopefully that
They'll
other
still
person's
keep the
gonna
same.
exactly